So the coding wise, what I'm going to do here now, we are just going to first start with the JSX example. So for the JSX, let's see how the JSX we can use. So just open your app.js file. In the app.js file, we will start using the JSX syntax. So let me define here some variable. So what I'm doing here, let's say I'm defining here my name here. Let's say let name equal to, I'm defining here, let's say Shailendra. This is the name I'm defining here simply. Now let's say this name variable value you are willing to access. So I can access it in the paragraph. Let's say my name is, and using the JSX syntax, I can access, let's say this way I can access the name this way. So what are the variable I created at this file label that I can access here using this syntax. If you're coming to see, you can see I'm getting here, my name is Shailendra. I'm getting here. Similar way, if you're willing to use here the if statement, I can use here the if statement as well. How the if statement we can use. So just do one thing. Let's say we having a requirement where we want to find out whether the number is even or odd. So what I'm doing here, I'm just creating a function. I'm just checking here, check even or odd. And here I will pass a number, and here I'm just writing a condition. If let's say number not equal to undefined, and if let's say number modulus 2 equal to 0, so it would be here even number. So it will return here a div which will return the message as let's say even number this way. If let's say we don't have the even, obviously it would be the odd number. This is going to be odd number. So now what I can do here, I can call this method here. So how I can call this method? I can call this method like this way. Check even and odd, then do pass a number. Let's say I'm passing here 2 as a number here. If you want to check the another number, I can pass here, let's say number as 3. It will let us know, or the even, it will let us know the odd as well. So you can see I'm getting here even number, I'm getting here odd number. So this is the way I created here a separate function for this one, and that separate function we are calling over there. But if let's say you're not willing to use this separate function, this complete code you are willing to write here itself. So what you can do here, let me show you the way how it can be done. Here itself I can write the code. So here I need to just create a self executable function. So let me define here a arrow function, and it should be a self executable. So I'm just creating here a self executable arrow function like this way, and that condition I can write here. So this is also the way I can check out whether the number is even or odd, and here do pass that number. I'm passing here, let's say 5 as a parameter. I'm passing here 5, and you will see. So you can see I'm getting here even number, I'm getting here odd number. So we having the two style, either just define function at the top level, or either create a self executable function with the alpha arrow function in JavaScript, and here just write the code to get started with the if else statement in your React application. For extension, you can use here the React extension of the Visual Studio Code. So if you're willing to use here, let's say the switch statement, how it can be used the switch statement over there. So for using the switch statement, similar way you can write here this one, and as wrote here this if else, I can write here the switch statement. So I don't think I need to explain it again. Now let me show you here the way how we can use here the loop. So for the loop, let's do one thing. We having a array. I'm defining here an array. Globally, let's let colors, and we having the array of color. Let's say red. So let colors equal to, we having red, we having here let's say blue, we having here let's say yellow. So this way, let's say we having some colors here, and these colors I'm going to display using a loop. So how the loop I can display over there? So using the ul li, I want to show it here. So I'm just using here ul, and li I will repeat. So li I will repeat inside the JSX one. Here we having the colors as an array, and in the JavaScript array we having a method map. So in the map method, we can use a callback function for reading the value. Same I'm using here, I'm just using a callback function, and that callback function will return the li. This way, in this callback function, I will return the li. And here you should define the key so that we have the uniqueness of this element. So I'm using here item as a key, and as a text, I'm also having the item over there. So as a text also I'm using the item. So what will happen, it will display us a UL for the colors. If you're looking at, we having here red, blue, yellow, and everything is coming in the center because I think in app.css we write the code text align center. So I can change here text align left over there. Now you can see everything is coming in the left alignment this way. So in JavaScript, even in React, we having the JavaScript array. So in the JavaScript array, we having the map method. So that map method can be used to iterate the JavaScript collection. So whenever you are iterating it, we can do it here simply. So now the next thing is here, let's understand here data binding, like how we can do here the event binding. If you're willing to implement here the Angular like two-way data binding, so how we can do it here. So just do one thing here now in the src folder, just add a one more file with the name binding.js. Now let me create here React class component, and the React class component I created here with the name binding. So just create a React component like this way, and I have installed here the React snippets pack so that this code is generated automatically. If you're also going to use the React snippets pack, there is option available here the React snippets pack. So here you can search for React, this one. So I have installed this extension. Because of this extension, I'm able to generate the code for the React component and for the React building blocks. So that's why it is working over there. So React support two types of component, functional component and class-based component. So this time creating here a class-based component. Last time I created the functional component. The extension which I have installed here, this is the extension name. So what I will do here in the class component, I will create this time a state, because using the class component, we can maintain the state over there. So same state I'm just going to create over there. So let me define here a constructor inside this binding component. Now, as a best practice, should call the parent class constructor using the super. Then we define here a state. This state, I'm defining here the state object. And in the state object, I'm defining name as Mohan. The state component I'm using. Then I'm having here, let's say a counter. Counter value I'm starting from 0. So in the React, we having the state and we having the props. So state is here for maintaining the state at the class level, and props we can use for passing the data from parent component to nested component over there. For simple binding, what I'm doing here, let's say it is here simple binding, or you can say one-way data binding here. And the simple binding I'm using here this dot state dot name. This is the simple binding I'm having. And if you're looking for event binding, so we having here, let's say event binding. For event binding, I need to define here, let's say I'm defining here a button. In the button, we having a click, and button, I need to define here my click event. So the click event, I need to define it on click. So we having here on click and define here a handler. So right now I have not defined any handler. Let me define a handler. Let's say handle click this way. So this handle click, I can call it here. Let's say this dot handle click. I'm in the favor of you should use always arrow function like this way. Whenever defining any event handler in React, I recommend to use the ES6 arrow function. Don't use the traditional function. Begin the traditional function, I need to call the bind method for binding the context of this. But here, if you are using the arrow function, I don't need to bind the context of the this. So this is the way I'm just defining here. And on this click, what I will do, I will actually update the counter value. So what I will do here, I will use here method this dot set state. In the set state, I will update the counter. So counter, I will update here. Let's say counter value, I'm just going to update. So first you can get the counter value. Let's say let counter equal to, it would be a dot counter. Then I'm using here counter plus 1. Now here, this counter I can show here just next to this button. It would be here this dot state dot counter. So this is the way I'm just binding the value of the counter. So I'm using here the arrow function so that I can use the this over there properly without an issue. If you will use here the simple function, then I need to call here bind method for binding the context of the current this. That's why I'm not using here the simple function, I'm using arrow function. As a best practice, just make a habit to use arrow function. Just open the index.js file. And now here, let me import the component binding here. So I'm importing, let's say, binding from the file path. So file path we have here binding. Make sure you have imported the binding. And now this app, I'm just going to comment out. And now in place of app, I'm just using here binding this way. So now binding component, you need to import an index.js file and then call the binding inside your other react.strict mode. You can keep both the component over there, but I just commented the first one because I want to do focus only one component at a time. So it is here binding.js and make sure we are exporting. So binding we are exporting here. So open the console here because sometime it happens it's not able to run the things properly. Let me run it again and PM start. It's working fine. There is no error over there. Sometime your CLI might crashed. It's not able to keep the output as per your expectation. Now you need to restart it again. You can see I'm getting the things. If I will click here, it's updating the value this way. So this is my simple binding and this is my event binding output I'm getting here. Okay, now let's see if you're willing to implement the Angular like two-way data binding, how it can be implemented here. So if you know the Angular, so in Angular we use two-way data binding. So the similar thing you're going to implement here, how it can be done. Let me show you the example of two-way data binding over here. So here actually we don't have the two-way data binding concept, but with the help of event binding and state, we can achieve it. Similar to the Angular, but it's not a two-way data binding, just similar to Angular we have. So just do one thing. Let me create here a text box because for the two-way data binding, we need a text box. So input type we have be, let's say, text. Then here I'm just going to capture here event on change. And for the on change, we having a method. Let me define here handle change. There is a event handle change. This way, I'm just going to have handle change event this way. This handle change event I'm just calling here. So let me call it here this dot handle change. Okay, so this is the handle change event I'm just going to capture for this text box. And for binding the value for the text box, I'm using here the value. And the value would be here this dot state dot name. So this way I'm just going to bind it this dot state dot name. I'm binding it like this way. Now in the handle change, I need to capture the event. Let me capture here the event. That event I will check it out here. So I'm just going to call here this dot set state, and here let me set the name property. So we having the event, then what is the target? So target is here input control, and the input control we having the value field. So what are the value we will have for the target that we are going to set over there simply. Now if you will open the code, whenever you will change the Mohan value, it's updating here also. Similar to the two-way data binding we have in Angular. Okay, so this is the way how you can implement the Angular like two-way data binding in React as well.